email dated 4th November 2009, re determination on electricity and water tariffs by witness number 196, Modu B. Jallo, plus an attachment. Admitted mark MS 244.
Sorry, can I have the exhibit, please? Mr. Jallo.
Yes.
NAWEC has a board of directors, is that correct?
Yes.
Sorry, what was the last question, please?
NAWEC had a board of directors.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
When was this matter taken to the board of directors?
I cannot remember.
Okay.
Mr. Jallo, your voice has gone down again.
Oh, sorry. I said I cannot remember.
You copied the office of the president in this correspondence?
Yes.
Mr. Jallo, during the period of the management contract, you signed all correspondences as managing director.
Yes.
So I'll be correct in saying that you made all decisions.
No.
Okay. Mr. Jallo, you took over from Abdul Job.
Yes.
What is the question, please?
You took over from Abdul Job. What month was that?
In August 2006.
When you took over, did you go through the position of NAWEC at the time?
Yeah, I'm sure I must have discussed it.
Sorry?
I said I'm sure I must have discussed it with the management at the time.
So you're aware of the dire financial position NAWEC was in as at that time in 2006?
Well, I cannot tell whether it was dire when I was taking over. Because we continued with our operations.
Mr. Jallo. Can you look at SC 104B? It's in a bundle, but the particular document I'm referring you to is dated 17th May 2006, and it was written by your predecessor, Mr. Job.
Sorry. What is the exhibit number, please?
It's SC104B, and it's a letter dated 17th May 2006. Were you aware of that letter?
Well, I cannot remember seeing the letter.
Can I have the exhibit back, please? Mr. Jallo. You previously stated on the cross-examination that you sometimes paid GTG for fuel supply and sometimes did not. Partly for the discounting of the checks, given there were monies owed.
Provided that there was a prior arrangement.
Sorry, what's your answer?
What I'm saying, I never had a prior arrangement with them, so...
My question was the discounting of the checks, given these were monies owed.
I have to know the full circumstances.
Sorry?
I said I have to know the full circumstances.
Mr. Jallo. During your tenure, can you recall what contracts were ongoing?
We had a few projects that we are ongoing during my time, yes.
To what? Carnifing? What did you say?
No, I said we had some projects. We had ongoing projects during my time.
Do you recall them?
Like the street lighting project, the electrification of the Western region, the Brikama Power Project, the Greater Banjul Transmission and Distribution Project, those were, and the Greater.
Who was doing the rural electrification project?
Please speak into the mic. I don't think the mic is directly okay.
Rural electrification project was done by different contractors. I think there was a company called RMT. I cannot remember the other two offhand.
Was this a project by tender?
Yes, the projects were tendered. In fact, they started before I became managing director.
What about the other projects? Were they all tendered?
Yeah, I would say they were tendered, yes. They were tendered.
Sorry, I'm not following. I just can't hear either the council or yourself. What projects are you talking about now?
I know
The ones he listed.
the IDB project, that is the Brikama Power project, it was tendered. Then the street lighting project was also tendered. But the Greater Banjul Water Supply project that was done by Balas Nidam, I don't think that was tendered. The Greater Banjul Transmission and Distribution Project, that one also, the supply was tendered, the supply of material was tendered. Yes, they were tendered, yes.
So all these contracts went through a process? I said all these contracts went through a process?
Yes, they went through a process, yes.
GTG bidded for some of the Greater Banjul supply and tender of materials. The network distribution, Greater Banjul.
Yes.
GTG bidded, like other.
Yes, they tendered for it, yes.
So the award of the contracts was based on the evaluation by NAWEC?
Yes. In most cases.
The contracts, oh, do you know a company called Dabanani?
Yes, I do.
And who does that belong to? Do you know the shareholder?
Well, I don't know the shareholders, but I know that Mr. Alaji Conte is the managing director or whatever.
And Mr.
Sorry, which company?
Dabanani.
And Mr. Conte also bidded for some projects during your tenure?
Yes, he did.
And he was awarded some contracts? Do you recall?
I could recall him being awarded components of the Greater Banjul transmission and distribution project.
So his bids went through the same process as everybody else?
Yes.
Council, I can't hear your questions, Mr. Chairman.
My question was his bid went through the same process. Can you? I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, can you hear me?
In fact, none of us here can hear. Can you say it again, please?
Mr. Conte's bid went through the same process. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Conte has, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? It's not me. Mr. Conte testified that he advises NAWEC, or certain people in NAWEC. Were you one of those persons he advised?
He never. Never did.
Sorry, what was your answer?
I said he never did advise me.
As a previous employee of NAWEC, were his bids treated in the same manner as everybody else? Or was he given preferential treatment?
When I was there, no, he was never given preferential treatment.
The Venezuela contract, let me go specifically to that. That was to improve and expand the transmission and distribution in Greater Banjul. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. It is correct that the scope of work was extended.
I don't understand.
After the initial bids were put in, did the scope of work change for that contract?
From the original project document?
Yes.
Well, I cannot remember because I think I was removed for some time whilst this project was on. You know, then I came back after some months. So
when you came back, the project had been commissioned?
No, the project was still ongoing.
It was still ongoing?
Yes, when I came back, yes.
Okay. Was it concluded during your tenure when you came back?
No, because I was removed again.
That's fine. Mr. Jallow, when you came back, you took over from whom?
When I came back in 2010, I took over from Mr. Abdou Diop.
Okay. Did he give you a handing over?
Yes, he did.
Do you recall the financial position of NAWEC as of 2010 when you took over from Abdou Diop?
Well, I found the company operating.
Sorry?
I said I found the company operating when I took over from him. The company operations was going on.
Mr. Jallow, you'll agree that operations going on does not necessarily reflect the financial position. My question was, were you aware of the financial position as of 2010 when you took over from Mr. Job?
Well, it's been, well, I think I need to refresh my memory on this. When you work at NAWEC, you know that it is a very volatile institution. Today, you know, things are normal.